Hey there, sorry here. So the people have spoken. They want content in this game. So by golly, I'm gonna give you some content. And so yeah, I had several people who saw my last video, Awakening Tifa to NV Plus, and got several requests to see Tifa in action. So I did get quite a few people asking for me to do her her enhancement quest, which is what you would want to do to get her 8 times chain cap and her 150% amp. So I'm going to start with that one, just because, you know, if you are interested in actually using NV Plus Tifa, you know, it's you definitely want to make sure that you get those enhancements if you haven't already. So let's hop into that. So to find that, you have to go to the Chamber of Seals. So you see a little button up there at the top. So it says Chamber of Seals. You tap on that. It takes you here. We are going to go to the Enhancement tab. All right, this is where you can go back and do any old enhancement for Master's Crowns, right? Any crown event. So you see there's Sephiroth there, Ferris, you've got Fina, you know, all these units that got crowns or enhancements in some way. And here's Tifa's. It's Fists Trained to Protect. Another one I would recommend doing if you haven't done it is Cloud's, especially if you're going into this fight, because I will be using Cloud for his leader skill. This is the original Cloud, like the very first Neovision unit that came out. Okay, and so yeah, that the specimen one is for Cloud's crowns and for his updates. But we're gonna do Tifa's here. There we go. Fists Trained to Protect. So the first 3 levels, like all of these, the first 3 levels are super easy, and you can pretty much just wipe it out on turn 1. But when you hit level 4, that's when things start to get crazy and a little bit more difficult. Now you do have to have these striking keys, as you can see. I've never used these. I've used a few just to like get in here and practice and try this one out. But you use a ruby key for any of these enhancement events. So just make sure you have a few of these ruby keys on hand, just in case it takes you more than one try to get through it. It shouldn't really, because it's pretty power crept trial at this point. But yeah. Let's hop in here. So here's the reason why you want to do level 4 is because you want these 2 abilities that unlock. You want to learn Tifa's Dual Blade Mastery Fury. That's what gives her the 8 times chain cap when she's dual wielding, which you definitely want. It's a huge increase in her damage. And then obviously you want her 150% amp. That's the last one there. So we need to make sure we don't use any continues, and we need to make sure we do this in 5 turns. So the rotation I'm going to show you is a 4-turn clear. So that gives you some extra room in case for some reason you don't kill by turn 4. You have an extra turn in order to get it done for that last mission for the amp. And then, you know, obviously if you can do it without anybody dying, you get the 2 Emperor Gigantors, right? So it should be pretty easy. This will be an all missions clear, by the way. It should be pretty easy to do it, I should think. All right, so let's get in here. You cannot take friends, and it has to be Final Fantasy VII units only. So here's the team that I'm using. You can see I've got the original Cloud there. He is the leader, because he brings a 500% leader skill to all Final Fantasy VII category units. There's my NV Plus Tifa right there, ready to rock and roll. We have, for our tank, we have Avalanche's Barret. Mine is only EX1. He can be EX0, that's fine. It doesn't really matter. He's just going to be there sort of as a tank. He's going to be providing some mitigations for the party. That's sort of the more important thing, is the mitigations for the party. You could also potentially use the Neovision Awakenable Barret. But this one, the Neovision Barret, or Avalanche's Barret, is really nice because he actually comes with a lot of LB fill for the party, which makes this a whole lot easier, being able to refill Tifa's LB. And so that's why I brought him along. Not so much for the tanking, but the mitigations he provides are really nice for the party. Angeal is going to be the breaker. Obviously Tifa is water element, whereas Angeal imperils lightning, but that's good for Cloud, I guess. But that's really all he's here for. He's here as a breaker. If you needed sort of a budget breaker, you could use like Jessie. She's the 7-star unit. She's kind of a budget breaker for the Final Fantasy VII units, but you know, as you can see, my Angeal's only EX0. I've only pulled one of them, but that's all we really need. Okay. And then Sonnen is a free unit. You can actually get him, if you haven't picked him up, you can actually get him, if we go real quick, I'm just gonna back up here. You can pick him up from the Units tab. You see he's the second one on the list, Covert Ops. So you can pick up Sonnen for free and you can get his shards. He doesn't need to be anything more than EX0, really. You know, he's here for the Reaper Killer buff. That's what he's here for, and just to do some chaining for us. So yeah, that's why he's here. He's here for the Reaper Killer buff, and that's pretty much it, and doing some chaining. All right, and then of course Cloud is here, just for the leader skill and some extra DPS. We'll take a quick look at the gear. Nothing too fancy here. I honestly just hit optimize and hit defense. You don't need all of this gear on him. You know, just give him some decent defense gear. Like I said, I just pushed optimize and hit defense, and this is what came up. But yeah, this is not required. Just give him a decent tank build. That's all you really need. Angeal, I basically hit optimize and HP, and then I went in and gave him a lightning sword so that he can actually chain, because his bolting strike skill is non-elemental, so I gave him the lightning saber so that he always chains with lightning element. Otherwise his gear is pretty much irrelevant, but I gave him I wanted to give him a lot of HP just so he didn't die from any of the like fixed damage attacks or anything like that. Tifa, I'm not sure why she... Oh, because I just ran it through Item World. That's right. I've been running stuff through Item World because it takes a lot to cap attack on these things. And so, yeah, so we've got her fists. She's got Titus Garb in normal form so that she gets the preemptive LB boost. She can take advantage of that, so definitely either Titus's Garb or like the Materia preemptive LB boost from Blades of Black Flame Reagan. That's also good and works on her 2 of her STMRs because they do stack with the 500 static attack, so definitely if you have 2 of them, put 2 of them on. We still don't have any EX abilities. Thank you, Gumi. That's just fantastic. But more importantly, you want to have some ailment resists. I think it's like sleep and maybe like paralyze or confuse. I don't know. I just made her completely ailment immune because the boss does throw some ailments at you. So definitely make sure you have that. And the boss is a Reaper. I don't have her maxed out in her normal form because she's doing most of her damage in her Brave Shift form. But yeah, let's go to her Brave Shift form real quick. Again, I got to replace the Kaiser Knuckle. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and set that as favorite. All right. So we do have some Clash gear here because I'm just trying to beef her up a little bit. If you don't have the Clash gear, honestly, it's not that big of a deal. We're gonna literally do twice as much damage as we need to do in this fight in order to clear it. The boss has like 20 billion HP, and in my test runs I've been doing like 45 billion damage to this boss. So yeah, we're definitely going to do some overkill here. So the Clash gear, definitely not necessary. Coin of Fate Edgar is nice because it does have the ailment resist on it with a decent attack stat. And then in here we just capped her up with killers. You don't need this materia if you don't have it. You could also use something like, another good one that has Reaper Killer on it, I think, is Battle Intelligence. Yeah. Oh, no, that's Demons and Fairies. Does it not have Reapers on it? I must have the wrong filter on there. Let's do Reaper. Let's see what else. Yeah, you could do like Soaring Legendary Dragon or Cursed Being. You could do like Knight of Gemma. I think that was a free materia that we got. Yeah, a lot of options here. Mystic Acuity is a good one because that was from a Clash shop. All right, and that will cap her up. So let's take a look at what we got. Yeah, 300 Reaper, 300 LB damage, all that good stuff. We're capped on attack, perfect, 600% attack, love seeing that. And yeah, I'm just using the free water card on her. All right, nothing fancy there, free water card, good to go. Sonnen, again, I gave him a lightning weapon, and then just, again, a hit optimize and HP, as you can see. And then just gave him a lightning weapon afterwards, and this is just what it spat out for me. All right, again, you just want to make sure he doesn't die from any of the fixed damage or anything like that. All right, Cloud has the Buster Sword, Titus's Garb, because he also can take advantage of preemptive LB boost. I've got one more Tifa STMR because that works on him. Magister's Ring for Chain Cap boost. You'll see Grand Helm Plus. I put that on him for the sleep resist, the sleep and confused resist here. But otherwise, yeah, just capping up his attack and his LB damage and all that stuff. I gave him Sephiroth's card for the Reaper Killer, so he should be capped on that. Capped on Reaper, good there. We are going to be using his Bracious LB so that we can chain Bolting Strike, pretty much the exact same gear in this form, so he is good to go there. All right. All right, let's get in here and see how we do this. Should be a pretty quick and simple 4-turn clear. Okay. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to use her normal LB, because this is the only water imperil that we have on the party. So it does a 130 water imperil. Sorry, 135, and it is the only water imperil that we have on the scene. So we have to start with that. All right. Cloud will also do his normal form LB because it does the Great Sword imperil for himself. Now, something to keep in mind, I've already cleared this, so my Tifa already has 8 times chain cap and the 150 amp. I'm not going to use the 150 amp because I'm going to assume you haven't cleared it, right? Otherwise, what would you be doing here? But I can't remove the 8 times chain cap from her. But like I said, we're going to be dealing so much overkill damage that it shouldn't matter. If you can follow this team and this strategy, you should be just fine. All right, so we'll go ahead and send them. Sonnen is going to do, honestly, all he needs to do on this turn is just do the killers. Yeah, so he's going to use this ability, which says the 130 Reaper Killer for all allies for 4 turns. Okay. Angeal, all he needs to do on this turn is, we'll fill his LB, because he's only EX 0, so he doesn't have that. We'll do, his breaks, yep, we want to do that, and then I guess we'll just do, I have to protect my honor, I guess, is something to do. Alright, Barrett is going to do Bar Erosia. He's going to fill LB, because we want to use his LB next turn, because he has an auto cover, so we don't have to worry about that. And we're counting on you, man, to Tifa. Alright, because we want to get Tifa's LB back up for next turn. Now the boss's skill set's a bit RNG, it's a bit random. He could just hit you with a bunch of magic attacks, but you should still have enough mitigations from the Bar Erosia that it shouldn't kill you. Alright? Okay. So now Barrett is going to do his LB. Oh, Tifa doesn't have her LB filled? Seriously? Alright, well, Barrett's going to have to save his LB for next turn then. So if that happens, it's fine. Barrett will do True Lifesaver for the Omni cover, and then he'll just do 2 more Bar Erosias, and that should fill up Tifa. Alright. Angeal. I can't remember, does this have? No, that doesn't have. So yeah, he's just going to do triple bolting strike. Cloud is going to shift. We could do Cloud's. Nah, let's not. I'm not gonna imagine that you have it filled. He's just gonna chain, and Sonen's just gonna chain bolting strike as well. All right, so we'll send Tifa. You know, this one should do a fair amount of damage. What I'll try to do is I'll try to time it so that she hasn't hit the 8 times chain cap by the time her LB hits, but you know, the timing's pretty tricky on that, so you know, it is what it is. Like I said, if you follow this, you should be dealing way more than enough damage to finish this fight quick and easy. All right, here we go. Okay, we got lucky. The boss did a lot of, or sorry, he did the Omni cover on that turn. Never mind. I was going to say he did a lot of physicals, but no, he was just the Omni cover. All right, now Barrett can do his LB because we are going to get an uncoverable fixed attack on this turn. So we want to make sure everybody has some decent mitigation for this turn. Okay, so he can go ahead and do that. All right, Sonen. Honestly, Sonen and Angel can just guard to make sure they don't die. And then Cloud is going to do Ignition for the mod boost, Elemental Burst Lightning for his amp, and then we can just hit Plasma Slicer again, I guess. All right, Tifa, I'm going to do Unbridled Strength. I'm not going to do Elemental Burst Water. And then I'll just do, I guess, yeah, we'll do Chakra. Although we don't really need to. Alright, we'll just do Unbridled Strength and Cheat Trap, I guess. Alright, there's the fixed attack. Alright. But thanks to the mitigations, it hardly made a scratch. Alright. So now we're just going to kill this boss. Very simple. We're just chaining. Okay, of course. Sonen, do you have enough MP? Don't run out of MP like I do, folks. Okay. Barrett can also... Yeah, he can also chain if you want. Why not? And Angeal will just have to sit and watch. Alright. Let's do this. This should easily kill the boss. I mean, Cloud... You know, even if your Cloud's not as strong as mine, Tifa's going to easily handle the rest of this damage for us. So, let's do it. Yeah, I don't even think the chain had started, and she just killed the boss right there. Okay. All right, so that's how you get Tifa's enhancements, full, you know, all missions there. Like I said, if for some reason you don't kill on turn 4, you need to go to turn 5, you have that, you know, you have that cushion. So yeah, there's Tifa. Cloud, you know, Cloud doing well, but remember Cloud had his 150 amp, Tifa did not. So yeah. And in fact, I'm pretty sure Tifa was probably capped by the held back by the damage cap on that one, but yeah. So just to give you an idea of Tifa's potential here. But that's how we get our enhancements. So now that we have those enhancements, we can move on to some other content. I think the next thing I'm going to take on is the Sephiroth EXT battle. I was looking at some of the 12 types trials, and the 12 types trials are very unfriendly to water element, and that's Tifa's biggest drawback, is that she is locked to water element. So in the 12 types trials, I think the only ones that I can really that are quote unquote weak to water are the Iron Giant, Catastrophe, and Death Machine. Those are the only ones that actually have like a quote-unquote weakness to water. Obviously, like the first 3 are pushovers, so she could probably do those even though they're not weak to water. But some of the other ones probably are going to be pretty difficult for her because they come with like 265% water resistance. And yeah, I don't have the units to overcome that kind of resistance. So if I had Metzi or something like that to do the big imperil and imperil field, maybe, but I don't. So yeah. I'll do the ones that I can, but I won't be able to do very many of the 12 types trials. So we'll just see how we go. But next one up will be Sephiroth, so stay tuned for that. That'll be coming out later, hopefully later today. If not today, then tomorrow. So thank you guys so much for following me, and I will see you on the other side.